this working? Oh, it's cool. It's on. It works. I did it right for once. Then I start. Oh, we're here. We are here.
Awesome. Glad to hear it's working.
Chill out, man. Chill out.
Absolutely. Just taking it easy here.
Actually, what is? Can you explain to me what looksmaxing is? Like, explain. Christ's sake, I'm asking OBS. I'm asking ChatGPT what lookmaxing is. Whew.
Absolutely. I've got you. So looksmaxing is basically a term that comes from certain online communities, and it just means trying to maximize or improve your physical appearance as much as possible. So it can involve things like grooming, fitness, skincare, and sometimes more extreme stuff like surgery or other procedures. Basic.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Your mic is low. How low is the mic? Super low. How low is it? Hold on a sec. Let me know how it sounds now. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. It definitely sounds like your mic level is up. So you're all good.
Yo, chill out, chat. Dang. Chat GPT crazy. All right, guys, how's the chat sound right now? Is it better? Your mic is low. Wasn't that low, I hear fine. The guy wearing makeup. Getting there is still low. All right, listen, who said it was too low? It's fine. Thanks, man. There's always got to be somebody who's going to be like, it's too low. And you end up messing around and being like, and wasting time trying to figure it out. All right. Truth is, here's the truth behind all of this right now. I did I was like, do I need to do a video on this or not? And I did a video. I did. But I was like, I might as well just do a reaction anyway, an IRL, because that seems to be like the thing nowadays. I'm just trying to keep up with what everything is going on YouTube. But having said that, we gotta figure it out. We gotta chat here about this. I'll keep in mind if you guys keep saying if my mic is low, let me turn up as high as I can. Super loud here. Kim, oh yeah, your hearing's not that good either. Super loud, good. All right, so I'm gonna ignore the quiet the mic volume for now, and we're gonna chat. Okay, so. Here's the goal, guys. I'm gonna go on this video. I'm gonna wait for people to kind of get in this game here, and we're gonna react to this. Question for you guys: would you rather this be the screen be a majority me, or should I turn it around? Oops, my bad. Sorry, and have it the actual the screen I'm reacting. Do you want me to be in small or large? Let me know. Okay, you want me to be small and then the thing to be large? Right? I'm just trying to figure that out. Me small. Okay, we're going to go me small. We're going to go me tiny and this big. Get it nice and big. Looksmaxing. So stupid. All right. I'm going to put myself all the way over here. Or up here. Is that better? I hate saying this. Like, I'm reacting to this. Like, there's a dude named Clavicular. I feel so dumb saying it myself. I'm sorry. We've literally reached like peak stupidity on the platforms, all of them. And I'm reacting to this kid. His name's Clavicular. I don't know if his real name or not. I did a little bit of research and I'm pretty sure it's like Braden. And he's a look maxer. It's let's just call him I mean, thank you. Clav it is. We're going to say Clav. But Greg did a video, and Greg, he's going to find something to do content on. And this kid reacted to it. And I was like, this is a good opportunity for me to, me, guys, I like to bring up certain things like mental health and how it's important. And in the video I did earlier, because I'm like, I think it's better if I just do a reaction. I'm always saying this. It's like, we call the bullshit when it comes to training and nutrition and supplementation. We'll call all that bullshit. But I think now, because of the mass amounts of like your alpha male and your whoever those kind of people are, I think it's important that we call out the obvious insecure people. You know what I mean? Like, we call them out, so people, because people are getting fooled by some of this shit, which is crazy. Like, they're getting fooled by extremely obviously insecure people that are wrapping it up with or disguise themselves as, yo man, I'm a alpha male and red pill, and you gotta increase your sex market value to get girls and massage whatever the F, and then looksmaxing, or like, I got a degree or whatever, and so listen to me. And really, it's like, these people are all massively insecure, and we got to call it out, because can I ask you a question, guys? If you knew for a fact that someone you're about to watch is like a insecure, like, I don't want to say loser, because I'm not trying to like make like, but like an insecure, like slimy person, you know what I mean? Like, just insecure, and they would do some grimy shit to hide their insecurities, and you knew that, would you follow them? Right? Would you follow their content? Right? If it was training content, and they had some pretty good training, whatever it was, or whatever, or they're coaches for high ticket bullshit, whatever, right? Would you follow them? Their identity is right out in the open. Like, you can just, if you knew for a fact, if you went out and you're like, hey man, this guy is actually an insecure loser, and they're a coach, they're a body. Let's just say they're a bodybuilding. I'm not saying anybody out. Like, this is my example. It's a bodybuilding coach that looks really good. He's a good looking bodybuilding coach, and he's got some pretty good stuff to say. 50% of the time he's saying some good shit. But then, like, you knew that he was like this really insecure, self-conscious dude. Would you still follow that person? If their advice was like, 50% of the time, because like, so most people don't really know if they're really getting really good information until, like, put it this way, and not to bring up Mike, whatever, but like, Mike's a good example. Mike has a lot of good information. He does. Mike's information is good. The problem with it is that him following his advice, it doesn't work, and he's not saying anything breakthrough. He's made people believe that what he's saying is like this, like, massive, these very the breakthrough thoughts, or I would say training modality, whatever. And it's not. Like, when it comes down to training, it's like, yo, intensity, volume, put that together, and be conscious of how you're training, have some good muscle mind connection, and you can, delay injury or reduce the risk of what kind of injury you have, and you're good. Like, the amount of science that goes into training is unnecessary to what's actually needed for you to actually, have results from training. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to, like, it's that simple, right? So like, Mike's a good kind of example of that. But like, yeah, so Mike, whoa, you saying Mike's worse than Clav? He's bad as these, he's bad as these two. I would say, I don't know if he's as bad. Like, he's not, he can't say that, because we're talking about a 19-year-old kid who is, when you watch this video, guys, like, I watched this video and I was like, oh my God, this kid, like, anyone to watch this kid and be like, yo man, this guy, I would definitely follow him and his teachings or his philosophies or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So So my goal here is to, you know, call the bullshit, right? Call it like tell it like it is, like call a spade, right? And this is a good video that really shows it, because like, again, this is another guy that gets on the net, and that's not old as shit. This is another dude that gets on the whatever platform and has a massive following. He's with like, I'm pretty sure it was with like I forget one of these YouTubers he's been with, like whatever, it doesn't matter. But he's getting mad, you know, viewership. And it's like, why? Like, why? Like, why? Like, why are we following an obviously insecure kid who can't accept himself? And when you see the kid, it's like, yo, what are you talking about? Anyway, let's start the video. It for sure appeals to younger people, right? I mean, we gotta say the O word, man. We ain't old. We're just gracefully up there in numbers. We ain't saying old, right? The O word doesn't exist in this community. We're just say, you know what? Actually, nah, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, let me turn this video on real quick. Let's watch this thing. All right, you guys ready? I'm gonna stop it and we're gonna chat about it. Here we go.
That's Greg video, man. What the fuck?
Let me know if you guys. Let me know. You know, give me a check if the volume on this is good as well. So, let's. We seasoned. That's what I like. That we seasoned. Young people, a lot of young people congregating over this own insecurities and reinforcing another. Yeah, and that's what it is. That's really what it is when it's down to it. The video done. Thanks, man. Thanks, Fat Cat 22 Abel, for blowing it for all. I'm joking, but really that's what it is. It's like it's insecure people giving insecure people a voice. You know what I mean? Like everybody has to have a hero, and there's a lot of insecure people out there who need a hero. And it's like, he speaks to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm trying to be respectful and not clown, but like, I can't not clown. Like, guys, looksmaxing, like, maximizing your looks sounds way better than looksmaxing. Like, I can't get over any of you guys. If you guys are my age, for sure, you guys remember Zoolander. All I can think about when I hear looksmaxing is Zoolander being like, looksmaxing. That's all I can hear is Zoolander saying looksmaxing. This shit can't be real, and it is, which is sad. Anyway, let's get into this video. It's gonna be pretty funny. I'm gonna do my best to be respectful. I say my best, but if I go off, y'all, I'm gonna go off because you'll see what I mean. Yeah, actually, you know what? When you guys see a part that you're like, oh man, like where you're like, man, I want to just. This kid is ridiculous. You got to hammer like a thumbs up or something, not a thumb or something, a flame. I don't know what it is. Just do some kind of funny emoji. It'll be funny. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on, Mr. Brace. All right, let's get this show on the road.
Sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit of longevity to maximize other metrics. Like, you know what I mean? You can't really have it all in life. Like, you know, certainly with higher end dosages of testosterone, you know, the cardiovascular strain, sure, maybe you're taking like, you know, a single digit amount of years off of your lifespan potentially. You know, that's not even really with
the first we're not even a minute into this and this kid's saying some diabolical shit. What are you talking about? Just maybe a year off your life. You know what I mean? Like, guys, this is tomatoes is what it is. I want tomatoes. I want tomatoes. Just like, oh, boo. Bad take. It's got, bad take. And I'm going to go through these and break it down anyway. But I watched the first part of this video and I was like, oh my God. Greg is frolicking at the mouth right now. When he watches videos, he'll be like, oh my God, here comes 27 videos. Let's keep watching. He's reacting to Greg. Let's just watch. And I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop and comment, and then you guys are gonna comment as well too. Have some fun with this. All right, let's keep going. Looksmaxing.
And with retatrutide, keeping your lipids in check, that might not even be the case. And if you're running like regular TRT dosages, there will be next to no effects on your lifespan. So certainly with the other shit that we do, like the stimulants and the vasoconstriction combined with testosterone, fuck yeah. I mean, that's not great for longevity, but does it accomplish a purpose? Is it very good for looksmaxing? Absolutely. So there's no reason to sit here and fucking virtue signal about some longevity bullshit, right? This is the same guy that got exposed for selling snake oil agdisterone pills, right? So I'm not gonna sit here.
Yes, he's on steroids. If you guys want to go after, go watch Greg's video. I jumped before I took med advice for you, right? And this kid is like, so like the video I did earlier was like, I'm gonna pull out all the things that this kid is doing, that is blatantly showing off or showing or exposing his massive insecurities with this. Number one, first things first, even if you're on HRT, you're like, the HRT is not going to make you live longer. Like to say that it'll have zero effects. Now this guy's talking about he's not talking about like myself or someone like you guys, who are prescribed to HRT, testosterone. He's talking about him doing it himself. We're talking about a 19-year-old who's like, yo, man, if you're doing retatrutide and, virtually you get, nothing will happen if you do testosterone. It's like, yes, it will. Yeah, 100% it will. If you take testosterone, and apparently he might be taking like 300 milligrams. I don't want to cause rumors, but he didn't correct it. You'll see in the video. But he's taking 300 milligrams of testosterone. And it's like, you really think it's not going to have effect? Like you keep telling yourself that lie. And that's just basically what he's doing is basically just like, he's trying to deflect, right? Exactly. Like it will age you his mental. Yo, I said this, Jay, I'm about to kick you off my shit, man. Jay, we need to be mental health maxing. I said this in my video. Are you in my shit? Are you in my house? Dog, you better chill out, man. Do we just become best friends? Dead serious. There needs to be mental health maxing. Like all the people spending all this money and this time on how to, curl their eyelashes as a male, whatever. I don't care. Try to look as good as you want. I don't like. I'm all about preserving your beauty, right? I want to look. I am 42. I want to look. I don't want to get any. I want to keep this as much as I can. I know that I'm gonna age, and each part of my life is gonna be, just another stage where I accept, what I look like in my 50s and what I look at. But I'm never gonna be like, man, I want to. If I can get back to being 20 again, never gonna happen. You know what I mean? I feel like I heard him say it's still too much. You know what I mean? Just another youth thing. He thinks he's right, important now. 10 years from now, he's going to feel very like, and that's the thing. Like when I watch this, it's like, and all of us who are I would say 30 or plus, even if you're in your late 20s, damn well that you're not, like, you didn't listen to shit until it started hitting you, like life started hitting you in a way. It made you kind of like think a little more. You're starting to be like, yo, I might need to get my shit together. But I remember like the closer I got to 30, the more I was just like, yo, what am I in? And I lucky I was in college, but like my time was ticking out. I was in university playing ball, and I'm like, yo, I'm 28, and I'm just getting through, addiction counseling. Like I was in counseling for addictions, and I'm going through that, and I'm playing my last season of football, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like I'm almost 30. Like what the heck? That's why I got into bodybuilding, literally. So it's like it's gonna hit him, but like hopefully it doesn't hit him too late, because he's into this thing where he's like, he wants to do surgeries and X, Y, and Z, and it's like, just another young stupid thing. Just another thing. Young stupid. Yeah, spell check. Cool, got that. 10 years from now, he's definitely gonna. 10 years from now, hopefully he'll be smarter. Hopefully he'll be smart, but hopefully by that time he hasn't done anything stupid. That's not irreversible. These kids would just be better off picking basketball every day. You get that exact same. You know what's crazy is like, yeah, and what's crazy is like one of the points I made was like, this dude is saying Greg's a snake oil salesman, but we got a dude here like, look, we all can recognize homeboy here is a good looking cat, right? That's a good looking 19-year-old. This 19-year-old probably has no problem getting looks from women, right? But he isn't happy with what he looks like. I don't know how much steroids he's done or how much has affected his physique, but like, let's just take away the steroids. Let's just imagine first of all, both his parents are ex-bodybuilders. So he's got some genetics, right? So he's already genetically gifted. He already looks good. Dude looks like all the Supermans put together and then they took out the flaws. That's what he looks like. And he's telling people to look max. You can't be a more sacred salesman than that. A good-looking dude that's selling the look maxing lifestyle. I hate saying that word, guys. There's got to be another way to say it. There's certain things I just will not do. Like my daughter's always going 6'7". I'm not gonna ever say 6'7", but I'll definitely say 6'7" before I'm saying look maxing. Like, for Pete's sake. I started listening at 16. My mom, when she spoke, it was smart. And I learned. Yeah, man. Like, it's also like, who are your parents too? Like, how are they raising you? Like, my parents were, I listened to my parents, but I didn't listen to my parents because my parents were like very extreme. And I know that, when you're too extreme with the kids, they don't listen as much. And when they try to do too much extreme things, it does the opposite. It's almost like the Adam and Eve effect, right? Don't go to the to the garden. Don't eat from that tree. Why? Because I said no. Don't do it. Why not? Don't do it. Why not? I want to find out. He does it. Oh, that's why, right? Anyway, I blame Mike for all this. The guy legit did surgery instead of diet and wouldn't work out. The guy, well, I mean, Mike, look, if this guy is all about look maxing, he's definitely not looking. He's not looking in Dr. Mike. He's not looking down his lane. And that's not a knock on Mike. I would assume a look maxer is gonna look for other guys that look maximum. I don't know. Another comment is a good one. This is a guy who needs counseling therapy. 100%. This guy needs counseling. His parents weren't there for him. How do you cave into your 14? So here's the thing, and there's a part of this video we'll go over. I'm not gonna put all the onus on his parents. Like I'm not gonna say like his parents weren't there for him or his parents are whatever it is. There's like certain things, like my parents were there for me, but like you guys, like our age, like I'm 42, my mom's 82, my dad's 87 this year coming up. Back in the day, kids were better seen than heard. That's the kind of thing we got. And my mom's a reverend, so like I'm talking strict, beat, whipped, all that shit. So all the things my parents did, my mom did mostly to try to get me not to live a certain way, literally pushed it that way. I mean, it's on me but when it comes down to it, the trajectory that my life went down was because of how my parents parented me. Now, on the flip side of that, my mom was always God's got a purpose for you and you and your brother. You're drilling that into us. You got a purpose. You got a this. That was always there. But unfortunately, that the other part of that was literally abuse. I'm going to be very honest about that. Abuse. And it's not like, oh yeah, you got spanked on your bum. Nah, man, it was abuse. I'm not going to be graphic on here, but that's just how it is, right? So I'm not going to say that the parents weren't there for him, but maybe they were just maybe too harsh or maybe overprotective. Because most of the time when you have overprotective parents, that's when, again, you have the whole, Adam and Eve, it's my thing. I call the Adam and Eve issue, right? You don't tell your kids you tell your kids, you try to protect them without explaining, and they end up doing it anyway. What do we got here? Kim, Peel's face doesn't want to do a bunch of invasive surgeries and steroids. You're not mentally unwell. he needs help. 100% he needs help. Well, before it was called Lookmaxing, I thought it was called Life Hacks. Look, it's called Lookmaxing because the people are too insecure to say, beautification. You know what I mean? They don't want to say beauty, right? Remember, there's going to be a little bit of red pill in this thing. So like finding a way to make it sound masculine also made it sound really stupid, like real stupid. Life hacks is like, I don't know. It's not Lookmaxing. I don't know that, but either way, every parent who's telling their kids not to do something is just like going to lead them 100%. Like telling them not to do without explaining is your recipe to get them to do exactly what you don't want them to do. I can definitely say that. I definitely agree with that. Lookmaxing is a term referring to a process of maximizing one's own physical attractiveness, which originates on male incel message boards. That's exactly what it is. A bunch of insecure dudes. I'm gonna get off here for a minute. My bad. I feel like there's this Reddit group of a bunch of kids and adults who got rejected by girls, and just couldn't really work on themselves, whatever. And they're insecure, and they get together in groups and they bash women, like women or whatever. And then they're like, yeah, screw them. We'll be prettier than them. And like, yeah, we will. What should we do? We should make ourselves more beautiful. Whoa. Why you say that, dude? That's weird, man. You're a G. And like, oh no, I mean that, man. No homo. He's like, Lookmaxing. Lookmaxing. That's a genius. Like, yeah, we'll call it Lookmaxing. All right, cool, man. All right, that's gonna increase our sex market value. And that's how Lookmaxing came about. A bunch of that's what I think about of that. Yeah, the guys that do they lift? They lift a bit, but like we'll go through. Let me keep going through this video, guys. It gets worse. Like this thing doesn't like. There's no like this. This gets worse.
Here and act like this is a fucking good guy who wants the best for people when he literally sold snake oil to thousands of kids, right? Whereas
that's a good question. I'm gonna stop this right now. That's a good question before I keep going. And I missed someone. Actually missed up here. Anyway, if you had a 19-year-old son who was falling into this content, what would you tell him? I got for one thing, like, and as a parent, you got to be like, where did I go wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like for instance, like this kid has 2 parents that bodybuild. My daughter has 2 parents that bodybuild. My daughter was conscious of me bodybuilding and going to the Max Olympia. She went to my first pro show. Now she was only like, I think 2 years old, but like she was very conscious of daddy bodybuilding. I got pictures. Literally, I would bring her down with me because I'd be awake and she'd be, I got to take care of my kiddo. And I would do my progress pictures, and you see her in a little bumble chair and she's looking at daddy like this and I'm flexing. When you say, yo, Selena, flex your buys, she'll do a perfect, she knows, you know what I mean? So they watch us, but I'm also very conscious to make sure that she understands that, it's not about what you look like. What was daddy actually doing, right? She knows I did steroids. I'm not going to, I'm not going to hide those things, but it's also about like how to educate them as well too. So if I don't educate her, or say like my 19-year-old son, and all of a sudden I see that he's following his content, I gotta be like, yo, what did I do? You know what I mean? And hopefully at that point, I have a relationship enough that they'll listen to me, because I find that sometimes when kids go that far, it's because their parents neglected a part of that process. Now I'm not always trying to blame parents, but like, let's be serious. When it comes down to parenting, we are the product of our parents and our parents' bad mistakes. And it's on us at some point to be able to deprogram ourselves or reprogram ourselves to be able to stop the the chain, or the we want to call it. As it was, what we used to call it before, not hereditary. It's a cycle. Yeah, I'll go back to it. Iniquity. We call it iniquity in church. It's iniquity. It's a past sin that's passed down and down, generation to generation. So it's on us to be able to do that. So I would, at that point, have to look at myself and be like, where did I go wrong, and see if I can do whatever I could to get him to understand, he's worth it. You know what I mean? So where are we at here? 6, 7. It's funny. Actually, he thinks he's going to do another one of those YouTubers who jump from one thing next. 100%. Saying he needs therapy for being wrong. That's rather weird. He's not for. I don't know if I missed that. I missed that. We'll get back to that. We'll keep going down. Let me go all the way back down here, guys. And we'll get back to this video. People taking roids aren't patient. I don't know what this says. Akin to people who day trade and lose all of their capital. Embrace time. 100%. It's time. It's just take your time. Let's just watch the rest of this, guys, and we'll keep going. I'll try to watch a chunk of it.
If they were to actually, go to a doctor and use pharma grade HGH during their puberty, they would get results.
He started using steroids at 14. He wants to lengthen his limbs because he's only 6'2".
Only. Yeah, Greg. Greg, how tall are you?
Here. Wears makeup, and he's a neural divergent.
Motherfucker can't even say neural.
Bro, you're on Neuralink.
Yeah, I'm a
Neuralink.
I'm a Neuralink divergent. It's like, guys, who the fuck even are these people? Really, at the end of the day, is this supposed to be your figure of authority? Like, what the fuck is wrong with the fitness community? My God, you could really run circles around these people. I mean, Derek More Plates More Dates, certainly a very intelligent guy, maybe a little bit, focusing on the wrong things, let's just say, in terms of what's an important area of your life to maximize. But he's pretty based all around. He knows his stuff. But Coach Greg really just has no fucking idea what he's talking about, right? If you don't even know how to pronounce the word neurodivergent, you think it's neural, why are you making videos, trying to be a figure of authority? It doesn't really make any sense to me.
Why is there a commercial here? I don't have commercials in this. Whatever. Let's just run this commercial.
Next Black Friday sale is on now from November 20th to December 3rd. Save up to 60%.
Okay.
Are you some money? So you guys can see that, right? Like how fast he is to to deflect, and then the ad hominems. You know what I mean? Like Greg's making some good points, right? But then to be like, if you can't say neurodivergent properly, you don't know anything. It's like, I'm not a grift here, but I'm gonna say facts is facts. Greg has a master's in kinesiology, and I would say is probably one of the smarter guys in the fitness industry, bar none. Let's not be dumb here, right? For a 19-year-old that is obviously gets like very quickly emotionally distraught when someone says something, it's like, oof. Like, to say that Greg doesn't know anything, you can just see how insecure he is. Like this, like the whole video is like, you want to see insecurity at its finest? This is the video to watch. This is the video to watch. And I'm hoping that and again, I'm hoping that kids see this and like, oh man, that guy's insecure. That's dumb. You know what I mean? But again, like, somebody had a comment earlier that it's like, insecure people need a voice. They need a hero. And like, they have heroes. They got a guy like Mike Isertil. They got a guy like, like Clav. Clav. Oh my God. Can we talk about Clavicular for a minute, guys? What you got to like? I think his name is Braden, and these are small things that I pick up on. All right, very small. You got a name like Braden. Braden's nice. Braden's a strong guy. Braden. That's a strong name. And you're like, nah, man. Call me Clavicular. Like we're talking about the clavicle? Like, is he trying to be like nickname the clavicle? And is it like, yeah, man, when I was 14, man, my clavicles were manly, so they call me Clavicular? I don't know. But who thinks of that shit? An insecure kid who can't accept himself is gonna call himself Clavicular instead of his actual name. You got to be just Brain only is the quarterback. I really appreciate you, Johnny. This is real shit, and you say things purely from your heart. You speak words of wisdom. I appreciate that, man. You know what? The reason why I made a ton of mistakes in my life. Like, I made a ton of mistakes, and like, so the same joy I get when I'm coaching, and I get, I'll have like a client like, yo, they've lost weight, they're more mobile, they're functional, they're not injured anymore. I had so get just a quick little thing. I had a client tell me that when he goes to church, he wasn't able to stand for the entire part of praise and worship, and he's like, I was able to stand the entire time. that to me is like, I was like, oh, that's dope. Real life shit. That's awesome. You're on your way. That to me is like, I love being able to give that power to people, like empowering them to be able to change their lives. So the same feeling I get is the same feeling I had when I was working on my mental health, because it was like literally it felt like being in a prison of my brain and of like negative thoughts and, you know, just trauma and stuff. And then when I was working on things and being more enlightened and being conscious of who I am, being able to, you know, reprogram, I was like, man, this is amazing. Like, I love being able to navigate through. So when it comes down to like talking about mental health, it's more of a like, yo, trust me to say this. When you have control over how this thing operates, the training and stuff is even better. And that's why I say progressive overload your life. Training, working out is just resistance and mindfulness. It's one of the best mindfulness activities you can do that have so many damn benefits. It's like you're doing muscle mind connection, mental health, right? That's basically meditation. You're also like strengthening your brain in terms of like you're getting through hard sets. Who are you when there's hard sets? Where does your mind go? Do you battle through that? Where are you when you're getting to, you know, do you have reps in reserve because you're scared to go a little further? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things that training does that putting that together with mental health, it's like intensity and volume put together. It's like a dream team. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like he's taking tests. Yeah, he's taking tests and looks like a beginner. But like, let's not forget to mention the kid looks good already. The kid looks good. He already looks good. His looks are already maxed, and he wants to max them even more. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, to try to frame this as like, I'm a secure male and I'm doing this because it's going to be better for my, it's like, yo, chill out, man. I mean, look, man, you want to, life is about, everyone has their vices, but like, I can tell you right now, 19 and doing the C, you know, that kind of thinking, like you're getting dopamine from that. I know, because I did at that age. That was the beginning of a bad thing. I was a drinker in high school. I was literally I was a drinker. I would drink straight alcohol and I would fight. That's all I would do in high school. And I wouldn't pick on anybody. I would find people who were bullies, or if I was a party, they were being a dick, and I would be like, that's someone I could fight because they're being a dick. And I would justify that. And I would drink. And then one time I went to a party when I was playing junior ball, and somebody offered me C. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I did it. And I remember the next day, everyone was like, yo, Johnny, you were so, I mean, it was dope, because they always used to Johnny SHREVE fighting everybody. And this time I was making jokes and I was coherent and I was doing all this stuff. And I was like, oh man. So then that's when the shit started to hit the fan. That's the road of like shit. And it, you know, when I could afford it or whatever. So I knew what it did to my brain as a 19-year-old. So it's not doing anything for him right now. It's doing all the wrong things. It's giving him a deflated ego. It's warping his reality. It's effing his dopamine. If you're getting dopamine from that, I can tell you, man, like, when you get dopamine from that at that young of an age, when you don't know how to actually get dopamine, like I get dopamine from playing the piano. I got a piano here, dudes. I get dopamine from that. I get dopamine from creating music, from playing on the, you know, I get dopamine from training. I don't need to be on C to get my dopamine. And when you're 19 doing that, you're effed. Like, good luck. On top, that's got to be that's got to be the recipe for just ruining your life. Like, I didn't do steroids until I was 28. So like, maybe I really just I lucked out, because I was one of those, I turned my nose up on steroids when I was young. I was like, steroids, losers, you know what I mean? Like, and I got these guys telling me, yeah, man, I was doing creatine. Meanwhile, they're like blasting gear. But you know, yeah, man, he was Skywalker, man, same shit. This is the same stuff. And you know what's funny? Because like, people are like, oh, I'm not trying to influence anybody. It's like, when you are on a platform, you got millions of people following you. They're watching what you do. So whether you like it or not, you are influencing people on your lifestyle. And a guy like John Walker, who might have been a cool cat at one point, is breeding people like John Walker, because anyone who likes John Walker, who grew up watching John Walker, is going to be like, yo, man, this guy's cool. I don't do what John Walker does. And then we have a new John Walker who's going to have like swollen feet, heart issues by the time he's in his 30s. And you'd be like, man, why did I look Max?
That he has body dysmorphia and that...
Okay, what the fuck are we talking about here? Body dysmorphia? Could we not start off with something so easy to dispute? You know, the reason that you go to the gym is because you want to progress. You're not satisfied with your current fitness level. There's no other reason that anyone goes to. That's the only reason someone would go to. Not because it makes them feel good. Like actually training, it's the result of what that gets you. So
if you have a kid...
Okay. Let me get back to this, guys. At least your brain, your body is developed first, and you were doing right. Yeah, I was 28. That's probably the best thing ever. And I did it consciously, knowing that if I want to, I'm a strength conditioning coach. So when I got into bodybuilding, I was like, okay, how do I do this sport? So it's like, okay, so I have to do these things, obviously, right? So it was like I was conscious enough to know, like, I'm going to do this because I need to level the playing field while I'm doing this newfound activity, sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it. So, but like, again, like, as soon as he starts talking about body dysmorphia, he's like, no, not body dysmorphia. It's like, yes, you have body dysmorphia. I want everyone right now to tell me why they go to the gym. Right now, tell me why, because this guy's saying that you don't go to the gym because it makes you feel good. You just go because you're only trying to better yourself. But he's trying to say that in a way where it's like he's avoiding taking accountability and accepting that he has body dysmorphia. The dude obviously has body dysmorphia. Let's not be stupid here. But like, why do you guys go to the gym? You enjoy working out, of course, right? If you don't, I coach people. Like I coach hundreds. Right now I got about 55 clients. I max myself out around 70. So they come and go. Some people come, some people stay, whatever. And so I'll coach over probably 100 at a time, in a year, it'll be between that. And if you don't like or enjoy going to the gym, you don't go to the gym. Like, you don't go to the gym. I don't know anybody who's like, man, I don't like going to the gym. I'm only going there for results and go. It's like, no, you don't. Let's read these answers here. Right? I go to the gym because it feels great. I feel energized afterwards, and it's space for me to meet and be around other people. 100%. That's why a multifaceted would be a long text. Yeah, it would be. Hey, yeah, Guru. To work on my V-taper and look good, for sure, 100%. There's nothing wrong with looking good, guys. Let's not get it twisted. We want to look good. Like, when it all comes down to it, we want to look good naked. I said it, right? There's nothing wrong with saying, I want to get out of the shower and look a little longer. It's like, yeah, good shit, man. You did a good ass job. We want to look good naked. 100% we do. But there's got to be a balance, right? If everything is going into how I look and not how you feel, then there's not a proper balance there. So there's no problem wanting to look the best you want to look and try to look as young as you want to look as long as you possibly can. But if that's affecting your mental health, that's a problem. I don't like working out, but I train for strength and arm wrestling, and I hate losing more. You train because you compete. It's something you have to do to get better at your sport you're playing. I understand that. I want to be a personal trainer. I understand that too. Amen. You know what I'm saying? It helps with a sense of purpose. 100%. Everyone has their reasons for going to the gym, and I think we can all agree that we all want to look good naked, right? I think we can all agree on that. But what this kid is missing is, for all the reasons you guys are giving me, which are all valid reasons, and you're still unhappy, then what's the point? You know what I mean? What is the point? I started going so I can take care of myself when I'm old. 100%. And slave for my booty. That's why I love my community, man. You guys are real. You guys, let's be real. I train for internal purposes. The external is just to protect my internal state. Oh, y'all are. That's what it is. And here's the thing. The sad thing is, like, how many of us in this group right now? How many of us, were thinking about longevity when we were in our 20s? When you were training in your 20s, anybody was training? I've been training since 11 years old. But how many of you guys in your 20s were like, we're training, been like, yeah, man, I'm training now so I can live till I'm 85. How many were doing that? How many of us were actually training for longevity? I wasn't even thinking about that at all. All right, man. And I wanted to be thin. I was drinking myself until I was blacking out in my 20s, right? Not at all. I started thinking about it in my mid 30s, right? Nope. I was drunk. Same. It's what I'm saying, right? There's not at first. Hell no, not, right? I definitely am thinking about it in my 20s. I want to be there. I want to be the Jack 6-year-old, 100%. I get that. I started training, part of lifestyle change since I was obese. Amazing. I don't think I thought anything in my 20s at all. For sure. What is your Chinese animal sign? I'm a is animal sign? I'm a Cancer. I forget what that is Chinese wise, but either way. So like, you know what I mean? Like, so this, like when we watch this kid, we're like, yo, what you're saying now, you're going to, if you figure it out, and hopefully he does, he's gonna be like, oh my God. Like, and I'm really glad I didn't have social media back in the day, because what's happens on the internet stays on the internet, and this is gonna be there timeless. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Watching this guy's videos, I'm warning you, be careful.
Take me back to 14-year-old.
Okay, this is what I'll say about the whole kid argument. There's a lot of influencers out there that are promoting liquor, that are promoting gambling, a bunch of fucking other shit that's not good, rug pulling people on crypto, drinking, promoting obesity and liberalism. But goddamn, those people, no, they're fine, Greg. But like, goddamn, I tell people that, maybe with modern science they can improve upon their genetics. Give me a fucking break, man, please.
Our video. He started injecting 300 milligrams.
You can't deflect, right? You can't deflect better than that. Like, you cannot deflect better than that. That's like some look over there shit. like, yo, man. People be, this guy's talking about drugs and gambling and drinking and stuff and liberalism, but me, God forbid, me tell teenagers to do steroids and peptides. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you could. This is so like, it's the best thing ever. Obviously, the speed his brain is already rotting it is crazy. Because like my whole purpose of this is to raise awareness to like how important it is to be emotionally, have some emotional intelligence, to have self-awareness and social awareness. It's those are all important. You have to have all of those things, and like. When you just blurt things out, it just screams you just don't really know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, bro was born 100%, man. Where is he at? I'm gonna go to stop here. What happens to Greg versus stays in the Greg versus? Yeah, man, it's over, man. Greg's gonna do a 27-part video on this guy, and yeah, I'm all for it. What is this guy talking about? Just foolishness. He's not talking about anything. He's a 19-year-old kid trying to justify being destructive. It's like trying to justify justifications after justifications that make absolutely no sense. Yes, liberalism is the same as obesity and alcoholism. It's like, Greg talks about that, though, so he doesn't watch Greg, right? LOL, just Googled this guy. He says he's in Miami. Explains a lot. He's I didn't. There it is. He's probably with Jack or that dude, and he's probably hanging. I bet you any money. One of his idols is Wes Watson. It's got to be. It's got to be. Other people are more wrong. So I'm not exactly. It's like, look over there, guys. The speed of his brain rotting. Bro was born to be a politician, but raised to be a looksmaxer. he's a 9 life path. Of course, he's gonna talk about drugs and steroids, 100%. Everything but the actual subject, right? Remember liberalism, Max? Liberalism is men not having the same body image issues as teen girls 20 years ago. I hate politics. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You're going places, kid. LOL. As a 9 life, I feel that. Tell that to Mr. Mike. Ask him what liberalism is and listen to him talk about 20 other things. Say he has body dysmorphia. He'll talk about 30 other things. Yep, exactly. He's also a rooster are natural terrorists. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Is he? All right. The testicular guy is autistic, I think. If he ran for office, that shit would be like BJ Penn. Oh my God. Oh, remind me of the modern day Gavin Newsom. I don't think I mean, yeah, no, I don't know. Who cares? He needs microdose some shrooms and find his inner self or something. No, I won't say that. That's the worst advice you gave today. The last thing he needs is any other drug in that guy's brain. You'll tell me he's a microdose. You'll be like, yeah, man, I've been microdosing like 2 grams. And like, that's his microdose. He's a microdosing reality. Gender neutral Superman. Y'all guys are diabolical, man. We got 23 minutes.
Kilograms of testosterone a week at 14. He asked, where did you get this information? And I was praying he wouldn't have said from Coach Greg. And thankfully he said Derek.
Yeah, maybe because you're a snake oil salesman.
At 14, you haven't even gone through puberty yet. Why are you rushing puberty? Why do you want to be an adult when you're a child?
What is this? What point is this? This doesn't even make any sense. Rushing puberty? We're trying to extend puberty. We're trying to have our growth plates be open for an extended period of time. Nobody's talking about any bullshit like that, Coach Greg, okay? So don't take that out of context.
Guys, we're not trying to speed up puberty or stop. We're trying to lengthen puberty. This guy has no clue how the body works at all, right? Maybe I don't want to sound condescending at all, but I don't know. Maybe someone is in this chat that's like, "What do you mean?" It's just maybe there is. I doubt there is, but like, if you take steroids, like I don't think he knows. Maybe he doesn't know that like testosterone is part of it helps with puberty. Maybe he doesn't know that, but like if you start taking it, your body stops producing testosterone because you're taking exogenous testosterone. You will speed up the process. You're not going to slow it down. You're gonna skip it. You're gonna be like, oh, I got all my gains and I'm 19 with a balding head. It's like, good job. This guy is this doesn't make any sense. Replying to the thing that makes the most sense, right? Puberty maxing. Keep them growth plates going, bro. Like the growth plates. I don't think they'll. Don't roids take away your? Yes, they do. 100%. That's exactly what they do. You are gonna age quicker. Like, you will age quicker. And Nora 66 doesn't need to be on this kid. This kid does not need to be. You know what? Shame on the dudes who put this guy on a podcast. Like, shame on the dudes that are giving this dude a platform. Like, are there not enough people interesting on YouTube that they had to get this guy. Like, yeah, this guy looks interesting. You know, I'm get this guy in here and tell me all the wisdom he knows at age 19. This watch was on your granddaddy's wrist when we were shot down over it. He says he'd be on TRT his whole life. Yeah, fresh and fit. This guy's a fresh and fit for sure.
As if that's what I'm saying now, because that's ridiculous. So
And this is what happens when your parents don't say no. Oh, my son is special. He's neurodivergent, and so I'm just going to give him whatever he wants, whenever he wants. There's something that's very important that I was taught when I was a kid, and that is known as patience. Sometimes you have to wait. You don't just get whatever you want right away. I mean, if your goal later in life is to have children, start a family, should you start at 14?
Why wouldn't you?
Okay, yeah. Oh, no, you got to put in hard work, man. If you're skipping out on that hard work, right? If you just want to do things the easy way, if you want to take the easy route, okay? I want the results now, okay? And I'm going to do whatever it takes.
Hard work is no value intrinsically. You work smarter. Like, produce value.
Okay, so if you want to work hard, right, go for it. But you're not going to have the success that you could if you actually do things the smart way. And actually, you know, if you think that's cheating, if you consider that unfair, then goddamn, man, you got some fucking serious thinking to do. Maybe try some S-isom or ketamine, do some introspection, because you're a faggot.
Yo, like, could you imagine me trying to make a... I was like, I can't do this. I record a video, guys. And I was like, man, this would I was like, oh my God, this is so bad. This is so bad. Both parents were professional bodybuilders. It should be illegal to be that influential age 25. But either way, John, you have a daughter. Imagine this is the kind of guy... Yo, she won't. Hey, yo, hey, been watching, homie. I'm joking, but I can tell you this, because when people say that stuff, like I don't get offended, but I'm very, very sure that my daughter will never, because she'll be able to recognize that. You know what I mean? Like, I do a ridiculously phenomenal job showing my daughter what a kind, thoughtful, empathetic man is. Like, I'm her first, like, it's crazy. Here's the crazy thing, guys. If any of you got daughters who have daughters, I gotta teach something, because I learned way more about women having a daughter than ever, because I can see her desperate need sometimes for daddy's attention. She always wants my attention when she's with mommy, but as soon as she's like, where's daddy at? I need daddy. She wants my approval. She wants, and I love it. And I'm like, man, I can see why some girls end up why they are, because their daddies were just like, oh no, I don't want to pay attention to that thing. You know what I mean? So for me in my life, knowing that, it's like I'm doing everything I can, not because I feel like I'm obligated to. I want to. It's my duty to. But like, she knows what a man is in her life. She knows what being loved and taken care. She knows what confidence looks like. She knows what security feels like. She knows what feeling safe feels like. She knows what being taken care of feels like, and she knows how to be independent. So like, my daughter will see this and be like, ew. Like, I can promise you right now, if my daughter was here right now watching this with me, she'd be like, what's wrong with him, daddy? Like, literally, she is that, because I teach these things to her young, right? I'm like, my parents weren't lucky like I was to have the wisdom that I have. Like, my parents gave me some gems and whatnot, but the fact that her daddy is someone that's active in therapy, counseling, and working on mental health and all those things, and being conscious, that is something that, like, our parents didn't get. No one talked about mental health back in the day. They talked about being tough love, whatever it was, right? Our parents did what they could to get to where we're at, period, right? So when it comes to like where I'm at with my kid, it's like we all have so many tools for us to be able to navigate through life a lot easier than, like, our parents have like massive amounts of trauma that they don't really understand or even want to accept. So, you know, for me, it's like she ain't gonna see. If my daughter ever was like, I like that guy, I will have to look myself in the mirror and be like, where'd you go wrong? What did you do? What did you do? What hug did you miss? Like, I don't know. Either way, we're gonna go back up to this. Smarter. That's why you have 14-year-olds on SARMs. Exactly. Whatever it takes, except patience and hard work. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is the funniest part of this video. I'm like, the guy's like, why wait for it? Why wait for it? It's like, yo, you know that you can't have everything you want when you want it. Like if I want to go get a drink of water, I can't snap my fingers and get it. I gotta go upstairs, get a glass, and pour it. And I gotta wait for the water to go in the cup. These guys are idiots. I'm sorry, man. It's like the guy, his buddy next to him is like his cheerleader. Like, yeah, man, why wait, man? Stupid waiting. Waiting and stuff is stupid. Like, this all boils down to 19-year-old brain, 100%. And the sad thing is that what he thinks is lookmaxing is just neural the defect. I don't know what. Just he's effing himself up. He's ruining his brain. He's getting dumber. He's going to be dumber. That's the unfortunate thing about this. He's going to be dumb. I am still putting on muscle naturally in my 40s. This guy is going to have to pay for it. 100%. Can't be calling dudes flirts while wearing makeup, right? Your daughter comes home with this kid. What do? You like I said, you gotta look yourself in the mirror and, you know, as a father, and be like, you effed up, you failed. That's an L for a father. If your kids, if your sons end up with an OnlyFans girl, or your daughter ends up with this dude, you have failed as a parent. Period. You failed. This is too good. I'm so glad my son is an introverted nerd, right? Yo, man, that introverted nerd is gonna be like a freaking CEO, dominating. Just like those are the ones. Those are the ones you gotta. Them introverts, man, deep thinkers, quiet, just sitting there plotting. You know what I mean? Just sitting there with. Oh, man, you watch out for that one, man. Neural divergent. Someone tell Greg that autism is real, but I agree with the principle that kids need to be told no. The thing about Greg is, this is something that I'm not sure I shouldn't say this, but Greg has neurodivergent family members, right? And so like I think what Greg's trying to do is try not to, like, people use that as like some reason. It's weird because in the last like year, it's been like the thing to be like, yeah, I'm neurodivergent. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm neurodivergent, 100%, right? So like it's usually used, but also like sometimes it's used to try to gain either like sympathy for whatever reason, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's so like, you know, this whole part of this is like, you know, just retarded to me. I'm sorry, I should say that. It's ridiculous to me. Whatever. I find it hard to believe these guys have done anything the smart way. They're only wearing vests because sleeves abuse them. These kids shouldn't legally be allowed to nearly. They shouldn't, man. This, like I said before, like that's the dangers of this, is that anybody can go get themselves a mic, like myself, get them whatever, and then turn on YouTube like, by the way, BS, 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 BS. And that's what happens. When he says wanting something now reminds me of when I was 10 and I thought Christmas was never getting here. 100%. Have you seen Mr. Mike's biological race takes? I have. I did a video with him, and he was talking about how each part of the world has, you know, each race has certain qualities in terms of like muscle and whatnot. I partly agree with some things, but on the other hand, a lot of things I don't agree. But when it comes to the whole race, biological race, in terms of like intelligence. Yo. The problem when it comes to topics like that I don't touch on is because it's unfortunate, but there is a massive amount of people who are very narrow-minded. I'm going to say narrow-minded. And when you call out things that are actually real and they might just be like touchy, it becomes this like deflection, right? I will say this, race has nothing to do with intelligence at all. At all. Right? Here's something funny. Let me bring something up because this will be fun. Is my phone dead? Of course it's dead. Every time I want to use it, it's dead. Guys, anyone else, a guy that has a charge in front of him or like multiple cords and never plugs their phone in? When it goes back on, I did my 23andMe. In my 23andMe, I am 25% of me is from Europe. I think 17 of that is English, and the other is Irish, right? Ireland, really. So there's like there's parts of me, and obviously like if you look at the time span of when this happened, it was during like the slave trade, right? So obviously there's gonna be some English and some whatever in there, but like that just goes to show that just deletes your entire argument about biological race theory, because we all, if you do your 23andMe or whatever, and you go 23andMe, if you do your actual like your genetic testing, you will find that you have a bunch of parts in you from all. We are all connected. So there isn't one that is greater than the other. It's the most asinine thing I ever heard in my life. That is an insecure person saying insecure shit. Right? Let me guess. Is he part of the race that's really smart? That has a higher, now you can't even, my IQ so high you can't even test my IQ. It's so damn high that I don't even know how to diet. Like, shut up, man. Like, shut up, Mike. Oh my God. He said it. Okay, I'm back. He's a badass kid and has no problem meeting girls. That's the irony. Hating on sex work is whack. It has nothing to do with the quality of a person if you're not hating on jobs and actively warm people and environment, etc. Like, sex work isn't bad. I'm going to say isn't bad. Sex work, to judge people on sex work. Hey guys, I stripped. I did when I was before I came to college. When I was like 23, I was poor as hell. I was poor as hell, and I was in Whistler, and there was the Mr. Whistler 2006 that I signed up for and did. Didn't realize it was actually it was almost like a fitness model competition, but they had like talents and shit like that. So I ended up winning it, and one of the people in the audience ran a bachelorette business, and was like, "Hey man, you wanna make like $350 in an hour?" I'm like, "I sure do." Like 45 minutes actually. I'm like, "Yes, how to do that?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that." So again, I did it. I got nothing. I got nothing from it. Like in terms of like money wise, like I can't show anything from it. I didn't go off the bandwagon, so I didn't leave it with some kind of like emotional or value disorder of some sort. But that's the problem when it comes to like sex work, is because it can affect your self-worth. So that's the problem when it comes to it, right? So like I don't get on people like, "Oh man, you did sex work, you loser." It's like, yo, people do what they have to do to survive, and eventually they'll come out of it and figure it out. And hopefully they can come out with it at a time where they can actually better themselves and work on their mental health, because that's what happens. You come out of those things and you end up being like, your self-worth is like, how much were you getting paid to do whatever, right? Michael said intelligence is biologically determined by race, but he's too scared to try to put race on intelligence hierarchy. Of course. So are we related? Are we related, Shreves? So are we related, Mr. Shreve? Probably. If you're a Shreve, never know. Actually, get a 23andMe, man. See where we're at. My IQ is so high it can't be stored in his brain, so he goes down Tis love handles. Y'all are wrong, man. This is about to be a 3-hour reaction. It is a 3-hour. It's going long, but whatever. Scientific has a good video on how race has biological differences and is more social than it's 100% social than it is in culture than it is anything. Anyway, there's politicians in Japan that say their blood type is superior than the other one. Yeah, and those are called the racist people. What was your name? What was my name? I forget my name, but I forgot. But I remember it had something to do with gold. So during this the competition, a dude had gold trunks, like gold, it would look like classic physique trunks, but like gold. And I had these gold trunks under. So when I did this, like my whole thing, my walkout, whatever, I took off the shorts, had these gold trunks, and dropped down and did the push-ups, and everyone was like, wow. And then I won, whatever. So, and then I used that as my thing. A cowboy hat and gold trunks, and I forget what the name was, but it had to do something with the gold trunks. That's all I remember. It was a full spring and summer. It was a spring and summer season. I did bachelor parties in Whistler. It's like, whatever. There's politicians. You start with that. Creative economy. What was yours? Intelligence is a very nuanced. There are different. That's the biggest thing I've always said. Intelligence isn't just you can be intelligent when it comes to math. You can be intelligent with numbers. You can be intelligent when it comes to body awareness. Those are like gymnasts or dancers who can contort or have rhythm, etc. You can have intelligence when it comes to music. It's not just one intelligence. That's the thing I hate when people talk about intelligence. It's like there's not one intelligence. Me and Johnny cousins, third and the fifth one. Send me that. Let's see what it looks like. Hell, Whistler exists for people that make bad decisions for a weekend. Only I stay there for 2 years. No thanks. Going to hate on whatever I want, but you want to share with the community, you do it. Okay, cool. Intelligence is also extremely dependent on nutrition, and why those maps showing IQ by region are faulty, because those regions also tend to have hunger issues. Group arm pump time, 24-hour stream, 100%. We'll keep it going. We'll keep watching. We'll keep going.
Anyone think that growing up in a household where the parents are maybe obsessed with their looks, their appearance, the dieting?
Dude, chat, I'm not gonna lie, my mom literally got fat after she had me. I keep doing your logical leaps, buddy, but my mom put some weight on after she wasn't exactly bodybuilding. None of my parents go to the gym anymore. My dad, he's got the dad bod now, because whatever, that's how it goes. You get 50 years old. They were not supportive of my roiding. They take that shit away all the time, man. Come on.
And where do you think he got steroids at 14? Is it possible?
It wasn't, dude. Do not even make that insinuation, okay? Greg, do not make the insinuation that my parents were the ones who just started me on anabolic hormones. Don't take away my credit for doing my due diligence.
Greg, we'll keep watching.
Having to figure out, alternative ways to ship things to my house. I can't believe that you would take away my credit for my due diligence.
So many points.
He got it from your parents. Snuck in the room, found it, and started using it in secret.
Shut up.
Bro. Do you think it's possible? My parents are losers. They confiscated my testosterone. I'm 14. I know what I'm doing.
Greg, what would you do if I confiscated your testosterone? Huh? What would you do? Okay, you would be a hypogonadal, fucking dude. Obviously, and so would I. So when I'm on a testosterone cycle and I get all my hormones taken away from me. Oh, of course I'm fucking upset. My dick doesn't work. I'm hypogonadal. You're the same way.
I mean, if your kid continues to get steroids at 14 and you're a parent, you need to do whatever you need to do to make it stop happening. I don't care if it means pulling them out of school, having a camera installed in every room of the house and saying, look, there ain't no steroids coming into this house. And
that's probably the worst take for parenting advice from Greg. I'd say you can easily see that Greg is not a parent. Probably the worst advice to take it ever from Greg. Greg, that was an L advice for a parent. But at the same time, the dude is trying to say, don't take me on steroids because I'll go hyperbenadryl. It's like, dude, that's also dumb as well too. Young people just have no idea how the aging process works until they go through it. I'm 47. I feel and think the way as I did in my 20s, just more. I feel like I'm still 18, but with hella wisdom. Period. Like I look myself in the mirror, I'm like, man, I'm 42 and I'm cool with this. I like it. I like it a lot actually. But also like I don't feel mentally 42. We all had that thing in our head where it's like, yo, man, you know, like we thought that when we were in high school that 30-year-olds looked so old. You know what I mean? That's now I'm realizing that now. It's like, man, my teachers were young as hell. Impact, bigger and stronger, 6'2", 240, roughly 10% body fat. Not trying to brag. Hey, man, 6'4", man. You're 6 foot, whatever. Sorry, I'm 5'8", stretching it. They're much louder than you. Would be nicer when you pause. Okay, cool. Am I still loud enough or not? He has a good point. Is their parents, but he's phrasing it as body. Yes, 100%. He's phrasing it extremely badly. This is you could see how he reacted about his parents. You know what I mean? Johnny 6'4" sit on. Yeah, it's right. Like what? How does that even work? I love how Greg sneaks those things in. I love I'm 6'5", sitting on my wall though. It's like, Greg, we get it, man. You got money. You made it. You're big ups. We get it. You don't have to remind us all the time. I think it's whatever. It's Greg's flex. I think he thinks it's funny that he adds it in there. Much like his what's his name? Greg 6'9" character. I think it's the most cringe character he's ever made. And when he did the first time, I was like, Greg, like, what are you doing? I was just coordinating the statement to my previous statement. It would make sense. Yeah. So, I mean, we could jump. I want to get a couple parts here where it's like this is just how many people are in this? Who's the youngest person in this chat right now? Is there anyone in their 20s in this chat? Like, I think there's someone in their late 20s in this chat. Everybody else's chat is like, yeah, this guy is. I like Greg's corny jokes, but it could be because I think that's why he does it. We got 24, 29, 24, 19, 20. Yeah, here we go. We got some. Yeah, good. Any of my 20-year-olds look at this dude and like, yeah, that guy just is blazing with confidence. Is anyone of these guys telling me, anyone in this group that's in their 20s looking at this kid and being like, yeah, man, that he's making some sense here? Cause he's not to me at all. But he's missing 5'6". He's a trailblazer. I was just saying, most young people don't realize that aging process. Yeah, exactly. They don't know. They don't understand it. You don't understand. Age doesn't matter to you until you start thinking about age. Like and I think it's no matter what you tell anybody in that age, no matter what you tell somebody when they're 19 years old, they're not going to understand that they're going to really start thinking about life when they're older. And hopefully you don't make too many stupid ass mistakes, because what you do in this time of your life is going to reflect in the future. Everything that is happening in my life right now has happened because of what I did in my 19s and 20s. Johnny's riding the clickbait show with Mike. Nah, man, like, What is it, Justin Clyde? You must be a big Mike fan. Do the history before you come on here and say things. Just do a little history, right? Just do a little bit of it. Just do a bit of it, and come back. All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you that try. Just go watch some videos. Just go do some actual history. Don't get on. Don't be a little grifter and be upset because someone's saying about Mike. Do some history first, and come back on with some intelligent conversations, or comments. Not against you. Could be just you missed out on a lot of things, but anyway. Here's the thing, guys, about Mike. The collaboration that Mike bailed on, you won't believe this, was a rematch of our role. It was supposed to be a rematch. Funny how that didn't happen, right? Maybe Justin Side. That's clever. Maybe it's what's his name? It's Milo Wolf disguised as Justin Clyde. It probably is. He's gonna go back and there's gonna be someone saying something. Anyway, I think that's what annoys me about listening to this kid. I see my own ignorance and refusal to accept. It's exactly what it is for me. Cause you know that it's no matter what you tell this kid, he's not gonna listen to anything. You know what I mean? He's not gonna listen to shit. And what makes it worse is that the views and the subscribers and the attention is just gonna exacerbate his ego. And that's how it works. That's what happens to people on. And I might just we might go to the bottom. I don't know. But there's some parts here that are pretty funny. You watch yourselves, guys, because I'll literally be on this thing forever. But there's some. What was I going to say? Damn. What was I going to say? I can remember. Let me read some comments first and it'll come back to me. But did you take roids and plan a double mandible surgery? That's the part that's weird. This is all sketchy. Yeah, this isn't a kid who just wants to look there's nothing wrong with looking better. There's nothing wrong with looksmaxing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's the problem is look at the kid. There's nothing he has to max. That's the glaring obvious. The kid has maxed out looks and he's 19. You know something I realized that's really dope about all of this thing and I love accepting this. If you look good in your 40s and you've been able to, get yourself in check in your 40s, you're going to look good in your 50s. You're looking in your 60s if you continue to keep it down the right path. If you're a good looking kid, if he's good looking now, he don't understand, men, we can share this. The older we get, the better we look. I'm gonna be serious. If you keep yourself in shape, the older you get, the better you look. Even my facial hair in my 30s, my facial hair was the worst. That just terrible. I couldn't make this properly. You know what I mean? I'm in my 40s. I'm yeah, this looks cool. I like it. You know what I mean? We get better looking. So this kid is inevitably gonna be a good looking young man. He's gonna be a good looking man, and he doesn't see that he already has what he's trying to force onto himself, which just screams extremely insecure. He's a massively insecure kid who's trying to justify doing all of these destructive things and calling it lookmaxing. That's the whole point of this thing. Is for hopefully the people that are watching this are yo, man, this is crazy. And it is. So, where we at? Sorry, guys. Well, this is in his mind, all the things he has done to himself, so he so far has worked. Yeah, do the hyper materialistic society and the destructive of dating. Oh my God, it's so bad. With hypergamy. I like this. Basically, taking over young men, including myself, are trying to cope with that red pill, black pill. So I'm gonna say you're a young cat. The red pill stuff. Let me tell you something. And I read the rational male. A buddy of mine when I lived in Whistler, I was 23. And he's like, you got to read The Rational Male. And I read The Rational Male. It's the dude he's the inventor of red pill. A lot of the red pill stuff has merit for people that are my age. Some things, right? Some things. And it was also written by someone around like that. So the problem with it is like with anything, men, women, like humans, we take things and we try to weaponize it. We can't just take the beauty of some things and just like, and you know, explore and expand on the good parts of it. We have to take things, we have to weaponize it. We weaponize religion, we weaponize politics, we weaponize sexuality, we weaponize everything. And then we leave it up to other people to try to navigate all the things that have been weaponized. So there is no red pill, blue pill, black pill, green pill. There are no pills. There's self-awareness, there's emotional intelligence, and there's social awareness. Those things you work on, like don't worry about red pill anything. When you have emotional intelligence and self-awareness, you're not doing any of this thing this kid is doing, and you're not following any type of red pill anything. You're happy with who you are, you accept who you are, and that's it. And you're always trying to better yourself from the inside. And then you have the awareness to understand that I also need to be healthy as well too. And training and working out does keep me healthy and it'll help me look good. So those combinations together is the things that you should be paying attention to. F the purple pill, blue pill, green pill. F any of those pills. It's all a lie. All of it's a lie. Every one of the guys who've written, the guy who wrote red pill, blue pill, go watch Destiny dismantle the shit of that. The guys on Fresh and Fit, they all of them. The one dude was buying strippers. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like the dude that was talking about every red pill, blue pill person, every hyper masculine, whatever the heck it is that is out there, have all been exposed. And that's why I've been doing this, is to call people who are trying to say that this is the way, and they don't even live the lifestyle themselves. They're hiding the insecurities behind red pill, blue pill. Maxing, morning routines, you know what I mean? Like shit that's not real, right? So it's I think it's part of my job to be on this platform and call out bullshit. Call the bullshit out. Cause like there's like, I feel bad for some of these cats that are in their 20s that are like watching like, oh man, like that's it, man. The reason why I didn't get the girl is because my sex market value is too low. So I need to make a bunch of money. And then the girl that I'm with, she shouldn't be able to make any work. She shouldn't be able to work because if she works and she has a job, has a career, she's too masculine for me. And she's going to end up leaving me. And she was like, shut up, man. Shut up. The most stupid thing I've heard in my life. Absolutely stupid. Question of the day. Are we moving backwards or forward in time? We're moving forward. Like in terms of like progressing, like are we progressing as a society? No. I think okay, I shouldn't say that. I think in some parts of society we're progressing, but when it comes to like it's a double-edged sword. So when it comes to like being open about mental health, we've been 100% progressing because we talk about it. We're not afraid to talk about mental health. But we also have a bunch of tools that are making mental health the hardest thing to manage right now. You know what I mean? That's the problem when it comes to, are we moving forward? Yes, we're moving forward, but they're also doing a lot of things that are keeping us stagnant or kind of moving backwards. Yes, all of that weird stuff exists in highly populated areas. Rest of the country could care less about doing their own thing. 100%. Grifters made that all up. 100%. It was all part of red pill. All part of red pill. All part of insecure dudes who just don't know how to navigate, increasing the value of who they are, right? If you got to increase, like, how am I going to increase my value? Okay, here's how I increase my value. I know that I'm good at coaching, and I coach, so I'm going to coach. I know that I'm a musician. I play 7 instruments. My 8th is whatever, and I'm going to create music. I'll do that. I like that. I know that I'm good at acting. I'm going to try and act. I'm creating value with the things that I have that I'm naturally blessed with, and I have to actually work on. That's how you increase value. You don't increase your value by trying to become something that you're not and then try to just hide behind that shield. And then eventually time's just going to kick in the ass and be like, hey, sorry, man, I'm going to outdo you. You can't fake as long as I can continue. Because most people cannot hold the fake for that long. Maybe we'll do it for, look at Larry Wheels. Larry Wheels started steroids when he was whatever young, just another insecure dude who hides behind a bunch of lifts, bunch of, I can lift a bunch of weight. That's me. I'm cool. I'm so, meanwhile, I'm stealing from my friends. I don't make as much money as I say I make. It's like, so time is going to expose everybody, me included. That's why for me, it's like, I don't care. I don't have anything to hide, because I know that trying to hide things or lie about things, time's just going to reveal it anyway. And then I'm the asshole when it comes out. So I might as well just be like, hey man, here I am. And that's all you got to do. And then you just got to love who you are. Clavicle is speaking logically. Red pill is junk. Just teaches you to get used to your wealth like Greg is getting used. If anyone here thinks looks aren't more important, then they're under... No. No one said looks aren't important. Looks are 100% important. Looks are 100% important. 100%. They are important. But the other part is important too. The mental health part of it is important. It doesn't matter like that. And no one's, and who made that comment? Nobody said that looking good isn't important. No one said that at all, right? What we said was a guy that already looks good doesn't believe he looks good and is doing a bunch of things that are destructive. Like that's the whole point you're missing, my man, right? You have clearly easy access to knowledge. It's a shame so many people try to mislead you. Stay sharp, 100%. He's single-handedly supporting the cam girl lifestyle through Larry Wheels. Like, let's just wrap this thing up because it has been like a 90-hour freaking post. Watch this video if you want to. I need to make some very clear because, you'll have someone go and take 2 seconds of this live feed. I even said the R word on accident, and someone will be like, Johnny said the R word. I'm probably finding like and have it on whatever. My bad, slipped, right? Anyway, the whole point of this isn't to say that looking good isn't important or it's a waste of time or it's stupid or whatever. If you're here for the entire chat, which is like a long time, we confirm that we all want to look good naked, but we all want to be healthy and we all want to be mentally healthy. All of those things matter. All of it matters. But if you're like, but here's the thing, if you're not good looking to what society deems so, what can you really actually do to make yourself good? Let's just say you have the perfect body, but you don't have a looksmaxing face. What do? Oh, so we go and get surgery to fix our entire face? Or why don't we just work on the things that we're good at? Because I'll tell you right now, right? It's not hard for me. I never had issues with women before, okay? So like I'm not bragging, but I've never had issues with women. I've also never asked women out before, really. To be honest, I'm insecure about rejection. So I wouldn't ask girls out. And that's what kind of made me more desirable, is because I wouldn't ask them out. I was kind of like, I would talk and chat and be friendly and whatever. And eventually it was safe enough for me to be like, yeah, to make a move or move forward. So for me, it's like, I never had a problem when it comes to women. But a majority of all of this shit that they're talking about, red pill, whatever, is so you can get a woman or whatever. And yeah, looks help. Looks help in terms of attraction. Yeah, hell yeah. Holy Names, what's up? Yeah, what up? Holy Names, what's good? It's my whole high school, hell yeah. Looks are important, 100%, they're great. And they help with attraction. But like, if you don't have a personality, F your looks. F your looks. F your looks. If you don't have a personality, F your looks, F your height, F all the things that you think are important. Right? I'm saying looks are most important if you want true desire from girls. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Wrong, dude. Let me talk, homie. Wrong. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. I know dudes that are way better looking than me and I've taken their girls. You know why? Because I'm funny. Because I can have a conversation. Because I can relate. Because that's the most stupidest. I'm not saying you're not dumb, dog. I'm not trying to get on you, but whatever. But you guys are putting so much emphasis on what you look like. And I've seen good-looking dudes get left for the not good-looking dude. But the not good-looking dude is a nice dude, is a funny dude, is a overly confident dude, has a really good job dude, is a shorter dude, right? Beauty is one thing, and it doesn't last that long, right? Beauty gets you in the door. It gets you, yeah, you see, and again, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and it's also the first thing you see. You don't get attracted to somebody's personality until you actually talk to them. And if you look good, it gets you in quicker from the find out if you're funny or not. Or if you're cool to be around, if you're relatable. Those things matter. Beauty lasts for a bit because beauty is one of those things, or attractiveness, that happens almost like it's a fling. It's infatuation. Infatuation goes from, oh man, you're sexy. Whoa, she's hot. Oh, she got it all, man. Boom, you get with her. And it's like, all right, you've been with her long enough. You're like, I mean, she's not as, she's attractive, but she's not like that. She's not like she was before. And then the next girl that walks by that's hot as hell, you probably look and be like, oh, you look still for sure because it's attractive. Oh, look at that. It's attractive. But you either stay with the person because you love them, you like them, you relate, all those things, or you move on because the grass might be greener on the side and you think it is, right? It's like looks are not everything. Looks are not everything. They help. But looks only, like, if you think looks are going to get you a better job, you're insane. You're insane. Now, if your job is like a model, for sure. If your job is to have your face plastered all over whatever, yeah, it'll work for sure. If you want to be an engineer, you don't need a nice looking face. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, right, like that, and that's the thing too, man. Work on your personality. Work on your personality. If you sometimes wonder why a girl is with a guy that you think is not the hottest guy in the world, it's not just because he might have money, that might be it, whatever, cool. But if he doesn't have all the money in the world, he's definitely is a guy that's funny. I know dudes that are like, you think are not that good looking, but you're like, man, that guy is solid. He's funny as hell. He cracks. I'm on TV with actors who are like, you would think are like, oh, that guy's not the most attractive guy, but the dude is hilarious. The dude has a personality 20 out of 20. Johnny, you think Greg would be dating his girl without his wealth? Yes. 100% he would. 100%. I know Greg. I know his girl. 100%. If Greg didn't have his wealth, let's say Greg has everything he still has and doesn't have the millions. Let's say that. Yes. Why? Because Greg is a confident person. When you actually talk to him in a room and stuff, he's captivating. He can chat with you in the room. He can hold a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about looks. It's like, oh, money. Yeah, money. Cool. If you have money, the last guy she was with had money. So what? So what? Oh, so she's only with the guy that has money? No. And was the guy better looking? I think it was taller. All the things that you would say that, oh yeah, why did she leave? Right? It's because they actually, when people, and it's something you're going to realize when you're older. You realize it when you're older. When you can sit down and talk to a woman and you can hold her attention and she's sitting there looking at you and you learn how to actually be someone who can just sit there and listen, and you're listening to that girl talk, you're looking in her eye and she starts kind of mimicking your motion, your moves and everything else, you got her. She likes you. Right? Women want to feel secure, they want to feel heard, and they want to be safe. Right? Anyway, where are we at? Gays maxing, holding gays longer, right? Good looking is average. Do warn more money for same job. Yeah, because Greg is a douchebag. He needs the wealth. I mean, like, here's the thing, man. Everyone has a reason to like. I'm not gonna get on it. Like, everyone has a reason why they like and not like Greg. And I've said the same thing, and I understand why people like Greg and they don't like Greg. I get that. But you have to, at some point, look past the reasons why you don't like him. If they're like, you know, are they truly valid? You know what I mean? And I get it, which is cool. But like, to make up things in your head to justify how you feel about somebody, don't do that. Just be like, I don't like the guy. It's easy as that. No, I'm not saying you hate at all, bro. Not at all. Not at all. And when I chat I chat and talk like a black person does, or like a cultural anybody, Italian. We're loud and we move around. Doesn't mean that I'm mad or upset. It means that I'm fully engaged in this conversation. It's dope. Greetings, folks. I got recommended to your channel. Haven't been around this drama named Greg Doucette in the last 4 years. John, I know you probably don't care. I think you. I care what I think. I'm none shame. No big deal, man. Hey Johnny, are you taken? Of course. It's so simple if you don't treat women like a different species. It's very simple. You guys have been lied to lied to. And that's what I loved about, like, here's a little nostalgia for you guys, right? Here's some nostalgia. Oh, for my young cats who are, I'm talking my man here, Gant Pill. No, hey Johnny, I think dating is different now compared to when you're younger. Girls have higher standards now. No, they don't. They don't. I'll tell you why. Here's the nostalgia for you guys. When I grew up, we had pen pals. We had to write letters. I had a girlfriend in elementary school and high school that I had to write a letter to. I wrote a letter to her, and she wrote a letter back, and she would spray it with vanilla. And till this day, I smell vanilla, and I remember these damn letters she sent. I had to learn how to articulate how I felt through writing, right? Writing a letter out, right? And then when you want to talk to somebody, it wasn't a hey on Instagram. It was you had to talk to somebody face to face. There was no editing your life. There was no like, oops, I made a mistake, said the wrong thing. I'm going to go back and unsend that message. No, we had to actually converse. We actually had to learn how to, how to be better with our own character or work on our personality. We had to. The rejection was right in front of your face. It wasn't behind a screen. It wasn't like hate a bunch of people, then the one person says, hey, great. What made dating back in the day awesome was because you had to actually learn how to talk to somebody, and you had to learn how to actually listen. And that's what got women to like you or not. Because they knew that you listened, or they liked you because of how you talked. Period. So dating, their expectations aren't any different. You're telling me that women's expectations in the 30s are different? They weren't looking for a higher market value dude? You tell me that for sure? Not a chance. Things have increased in terms of like availability and instant gratification. Yes, for sure. But to say that it's hard to date women now? No, man, you've been lied to. You've been lied to believe that, so that you have to change who you are to attract something or somebody based on what isn't actually you. Work on yourself. Work on emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and social awareness. I promise you, you will increase your availability to be wanted, you're desirable, whatever it is. Because when you start talking to a woman, because put it this way, let me make it easy for you. If most people can't talk nowadays, which they can't, like, people don't know how to actually like communicate person to person anymore. If you're the person who does, because you know how many girls are getting messages from guys, that's a fact. It's always been like that. It's been like that from day one. Women have always got way more attention than men, right? if you're the one guy out of the hundreds of guys that can't chat and you can actually hold a conversation and you're funny and you're self-aware, you're gonna blow their minds. Who is this? Who's this unicorn? Woof. They're not even worried about it. They're like, they don't care. And then you work on yourself and you have you have goals and you have aspirations. Women love seeing men with goals. Women love seeing men that are secure. Women love, because that's what they want. They want security. They want to feel safe. Right? I'm interested to know why you think there's so many guys in college that are virgins compared to your time. Obviously, so here's the thing. I don't know where that stat's coming from, but I can tell you right now, I was very sexually active way too early in my life. Again, mom and dad, the harsher it is, the more the bad shit comes out. I lost my virginity very early, 13. And I was like one of the only guys that had that with their virginity, so even in college, the same thing. When I grew up, it was way less because women weren't as sexually active. There was way more shaming back in the day. Back in my day, you were a SLUT if you had sex with more than like a couple dudes. Like, I know women, if you ask, like, nowadays, like, hey, how many women you slept with in their 20s? If they said 10, I'd be like, yo, whoo, that girl's, good job, whatever, right? Either way, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like back in the day we're out there just smashing. It's not even the case. Women were a lot more protective of themselves back in the day. Now it's easy. The reason why there are more virgins now is because people don't want to talk. That's why. That if you want to get the job done, have this and this. Be able to talk and think. And that's how you get it. The reason why you're seeing a lot more virgins in college is because guys don't work on themselves. Guys are red pilling their way to a life of celibacy. That's why. 100%. There's so many more virgins now because men didn't get to do what I got to do when I was younger. That's why it's very easy for me to chat and talk for 3 hours, because that's what we grew up on. We didn't get to grow up sitting and typing everything out and correcting everything we say and oh my God, I got to edit. There was no selfies. I took pictures of Polaroid, the first one you got, and you ain't taking more than a couple Polaroid pictures because you're going to lose the whole film. That film costs a lot of money. Right? 100%. Like look, guys. We can't go from one end spectrum to the other spectrum. Okay, all right. You can be there's a level of attract. Like let me give you a great example. Actually, here's a great example. My brother is the opposite of me. Right? He's a bigger dude. He's 5'10". He's 260-ish, 250. He's nowhere, doesn't look anything like me. But my brother's got a personality up the wazoo. Like, he is funny as hell, can hold a conversation. And, he was married for a bit. Now I'm separated. And he has no problem at all attracting very attractive women. And he makes that point because he laughs at me because he makes that point. You know what I mean? Like, now I would say, like, yeah, you could probably get more if you're, if you lost, and I do believe that. I do believe that, hey man, if you lost another 15 pounds, I bet you probably would get a few more girls to look your way. But it's like, that's not the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, it's like, women aren't just attracted to your wealth and your looks. It might be what gets you in the door, but she will leave you or cheat on you with the dude that makes her feel secure, makes her feel safe, and makes her laugh. Right? I'm not saying all girls are going to do that. I don't want to say a girl's just going to cheat on you for other people that I find attractive. But more than likely, she will get bored of you quick if you think that the only thing that that you got to do is just be a good looking dude, look max, and then that's it. It's like, cool, man, look max all you want, because someone's gonna be mental health maxing and just smashing. I'm sorry. For real talk, man. Real talk. Looks matter. Overweight and unattractive, less likely to get reciprocation, but gotta find a girl on the same level. Maybe less. And like, look, you go for what you can go for. That's just how people work, right? You date people within the same kind of, class as you. Women are most likely gonna settle down with a guy that is less is less so focused on their looks. I can tell you right now that a girl's gonna be like, what? Like, you wait a second here. You're trying to do so much to look good more than I do. That's your first thing to get your ass dumped. Is to be the guy that's doing his makeup more than the woman is. Anyway, we're done. This conversation's finished. Watch us this video, man. Like, looksmaxing is stupid. Sorry. Work on yourselves. Work on this first 100%. Yeah, 100%. Sure, I'm getting it wrong. You look. I don't know if you're saying I'm getting it wrong, but I'm definitely. If there's anyone you want to listen to about any of this stuff, I will confidently say it would be me. You can like. I would confidently say. If you're gonna ask anybody about any of the dating, being aware and talking, talking to women, or just, being self. If you're gonna listen to anybody, I can confidently say it would be me. So I am not getting any of this wrong at all, at all. But I'm also here not to convince anybody. So for those who want to learn and want to listen, I'm here for it, man. But I'm definitely not gonna. Yeah, I can't let that one slide. You're a college athlete bodybuilder. You're in a different class. Don't say that. Don't say that. I knew it was the next thing you're gonna say. I knew that was one of the things you're gonna say. That's the excuse. That is the excuse. That is the excuse. That's almost like talking about like, oh, that person's is on steroids, so he wouldn't understand. I can't get no. Nope. No, I have too much anecdotal proof that you don't have to be, and I'm not a college football player right now. I'm not. And I was poor as hell. I was eating out of garbage in college. I was a drug addict in college. I had to strip when I was in, what are you talking about? I was missing a tooth for almost a decade and a half in my front tooth. What are you talking about? Like, stop it. Don't make excuses. Don't make excuses so you can kind of give yourself some kind of weird reason why you can't get what you probably can't get if you work on yourself. Don't do that. I'm not gonna let you do that shit at all. Women want what? They want a guy with no tooth that's broke and an addict? Are you gonna say, oh, because they want to fix a guy? Dog, bro, I know what you're gonna say everything next. You'd be smart to just listen to me. Johnny, why wouldn't it look max if people Johnny, why wouldn't they look max when people treat attractive people way better? I've experienced it firsthand, being very attractive and also ugly sometimes, depending on how little I sleep. Here's the thing, man. I just gonna, before you made me laugh, man. ADD sucks. Damn it. Can confirm. I've been told I look like a homeless crackhead and don't have women problems. Blaming others is easier than work. It is, but I'm not gonna hold man like that. I want to challenge you. I'm here to challenge you, but like, I'm giving you some gold. I'll end it with this. Do you think if you're 5'1" and bad genetics facially, you would have you would have some experience if your personality and confidence was better? I was gonna say look at Danny Vito, but you'd be like, he's an actor. Here's what I'm saying, because you guys are making these arguments, these comparisons they're not good comparisons, right? If you're a unattractive 5'1" person, right? There's someone that is in your class, so to speak, that you will find. There is somebody for everybody. That's the thing that you guys don't understand. There is somebody for everybody. For the 5'1" dude that, isn't that attractive, there's probably a 4'8" girl that isn't that attractive. And they chow with each other and whatever. But that 5 foot whatever girl is still going to be like, can you hold a conversation? There's no way around it. Their default is this. You need to have a personality. You work on that first. Because having a personality and being able to that is a skill. Not everybody is born with a gift to gab. I know what hypergamy is, bro. I read the book 20 years ago. Like, I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what it is. You did in your class. I understand. I know exactly what it is. Now you can listen to someone who knows what he's talking about, or you can continue to follow a dude that couldn't even explain himself when he was on Fresh and Fit. Like, go watch Destiny tear apart the creator of Red Pill. Go watch it, right? Girls are emotional creatures, and you need to take them for a ride on a roller coaster of emotions. No, you don't. No, you don't. The thing is, if you don't know how to control your own emotions, you'll be taking them on a roller coaster, and then you have an extremely unhealthy relationship. The problem is, you guys have been sold lies about relationships, and sold literally like toxic relationships. I don't believe in toxic masculinity or toxic, but I know there are toxic relationships. And toxic relationships is when two people who don't have any emotional intelligence, awareness, or self-awareness get together and they try to date. That is a problem. Period. Right? Right? That's the whole thing. You got no one. The reason why all the dating shit is all messed up and men are this and women are that is because nobody is talking about how to better themselves on the inside. Women are told they got to look better. They got to do this. Men are told they got to, everything is exterior. That is why if you work on yourself, you will find the woman that's working on herself. I have non-negotiables. Here's my non-negotiable. And my non-negotiable is from me making mistakes. My non-negotiable is this. Whoever I'm with or working or whatever has to be either on the mission to self-awareness in terms of like their mental health, or they're already there, right? They can't just be like, I don't do that stuff. Non-negotiable. If you are not working on your mental health, I'm not talking to you. I'm not dealing with it because I know what it's like. If you don't have the same interest, not doing it. If we don't have the same, values, not doing it. If you don't work out and put health as part, not doing. I have non-negotiables. You guys don't have non-negotiables. Your non-negotiables are like, oh, she can't sleep with this many guys, and she's got to have. That's your non-negotiables. If you're worried about how many men she slept with, you're insecure. You're insecure. Now, I understand there's a bunch of things we talk about this. I'm sure if a woman has slept with 100 dudes, yeah, I would be like, I probably wouldn't, But again, that's when you have self-awareness. Work on those things, guys. That is your ticket. Work on that first, and then you're more sure of yourself, more confident. You understand things more, and you start operating and moving in the path that you should be moving. Until then, you're just subconsciously making moves based on emotions. You are a flop. There is no way 5'1" bad looking guy is getting multiple girls wanting. He's not like. He's not. Like I said, when it comes down to it, there's to make the argument or to strike the argument and be like, oh yeah, 100. If a guy's got a good personality, even if he's looks like Quasimodo, he's gonna get a lot of girls. It's like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Not even close. There's someone for everyone on this planet. Period. And it's easier to find that person when you found yourself first. That's the point I'm making, and that's what you got to work on. Until then, you're going to be following red pill bullshit and all this shit until kingdom come. Come out into the club with me, man. I promise we could make it happen. Johnny, yes. I'm getting off now. This has been too long. It's been great, though, actually. Anyway, guys, I'm off. I'm off this thing, man. I know you said you don't really buy the toxic masculinity thing, but you are certainly a shining example of positive masculinity. I appreciate. Thanks, man. So like here's the reason why I don't believe in toxic masculinity, because that's something that was actually created. But the reason why there are toxic men and there are toxic women. Masculinity as what it is not toxic. Femininity is not toxic. There is a female that is toxic and there is a male that is toxic. Masculinity and femininity are not toxic. That's how humans, again, weaponize things and ruin just the natural, life's natural evolution, right? Period, right? You can be a masculine man with a little bit of femininity to you. There's nothing wrong with that. You could be a feminine woman with a little masculinity to you. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. No big deal, right? So, if I can't relate to anyone, I should become a comedian. Goodbye, Johnny. Stay true. Yo, be a comedian. Hey, if you want, I tell you right now. Tell me you find me a single comedian. You find me a comedian that is. Do you find me a comedian that's a virgin? Find me one. Whoever finds me a comedian that's a virgin, let me know. But I bet you there's none. I know some big ass, I forget his name, one of the big ass dudes. He's a big heavy set cat. And he's hilarious. He guarantee smash. Guarantee he does. Why? Because he'll laugh his way to a girl's bed, man. I'll tell you right now, she'll be cracking up. And but by the time he's done, she'll be like, oh, wait a second. Oh, you big. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Anyway, I'm gone. I'm out of here, man. Appreciate you guys. We'll get on this and do this again. The comedian, you got to answer for everything, bro. Then good. Then you just said it. The comedian's got status. You know why the comedian's got status? Because the comedian's funny. He's got a personality. Done and done. There you go. There's your ticket. You already just proved my point, homie. You proved my point. Appreciate you, man. Silver hands. Silver hands. Go work on that personality. Work on that personality. I promise you. We'll have this conversation again. I'll be putting money in. All comedians make money. Don't be saying that shit. So get out of here, homie. We out of here. Love you guys. Let's get back on this thing and do it again. I might not post this video anymore. I'll have this one out there, man. But I appreciate you guys. More videos coming, guys. And till next time, you guys know what it is. Iron showers iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Seinfeld only because of his money, not his jokes. His money, his jokes got him money. His personality, he got value by being funny. You don't think Seinfeld's an ugly, he's not a good looking dude. How'd he get his shit? Being funny. And then his value went up. And they paid his ass because he was funny. And then he made one of the longest TV shows because he's funny. Point proven. Get out of here, y'all. I'm out. Peace.